Hello, Sable Duo Gaming here, and the reason why I'm making this video is kind of to put something in perspective for you. Now, before I start this video, I just want to say, great job for Nintendo, because The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D was perfect. I bought it, I played it, I've been playing through it, I love that game, and it started to pique my interest in Majora's Mask a little bit more than it usually did in the past. And so what it did to me was, like, I played through the game and I was like, I'm intrigued on knowing who Majora really is. Who is this guy, Majora? So I researched it online, and from what I found out was, no one knows who Majora is. And that may be true, but also people don't know what Majora looks like. Now I'm like, what? WTF? What? Yes, you do know what he looks like. You know what his similarity looked like. You know what he looks like as a similarity standpoint. Now, when I researched it, what the main evidence as to why you don't know what he looks like is because they don't really show a picture of him. And the reason why people don't believe Majora's incarnation, that is the one fact that shows you what he looks like, but people don't believe in it because they think too much, and they're like, well, Majora's mask is a mask. Aren't masks supposed to look like the face to someone? And if that's so, then Majora's incarnation doesn't have his whole body is the mask. Like, who was the mask shaped to look like? Now, that Majora's incarnation is wearing the mask, like, on his face, in fact. Now, through researching and looking very, very in-depthly onto the images of Majora's mask, Majora's incarnation, and Majora's wrath, I was able to conclude that Majora himself. Well, first of all, I can say Majora's incarnation is Majora himself because the literal definition of incarnation literally means, quote by quote, word by word, a person who embodies in the flesh a deity, spirit, or abstract quality. Now, this actually means that Majora's incarnation represents the actual image of Majora, because it does say that someone's soul or spirit does look identical to you, how you were. And unless you believe in some other religion, like other than Christianity and that kind of stuff. But I'm just going off of that. But it says embodies in the flesh. Now, this could mean you are within the flesh of a person, like you are now, listen to this video. Or this could mean a manifestation of the spirit. Or, in this case, I'm going to say Majora is a deity, because he has the divine power to send the moon on the earth. And no spirit can do that except for, like, the Holy Spirit and like, that is technically a deity, because a deity is a god of some sort. And so, since Majora's mask, Majora's incarnation is a manifestation of what he looks like, and what a manifestation is the actual image of the spirit in the flesh, as in an incarnation, except it only relates to looking how you did as a spirit. Now, with this in mind, I can clearly say that Majora's incarnation represents Majora. Now, with what I said before, he's not wearing his mask, he's just having it on his stomach. Well, he actually is. I what I concluded from research was that Majora himself is an amorphous substance. He is a moldable thing. He stretches. He's like gloop. Now, I came to this conclusion because in the battle with Majora's incarnation, well, Majora's mask, when you defeat him, he was able to just immediately stretch out arms. Well, I believe those arms couldn't have been like wedged up into his body. He brought them out because they were molded into his body, and he stretched out like little limbs, and he turned that into his limbs. And I have even more evidence when you defeat Majora's incarnation, and he becomes Majora's Wrath. Well, you do notice that his arms tend to swell up to make a lot of muscle and become strong. That could happen because most of his body is in his mask. If he moves the flesh from his mask self into his arms, it would cause an inflation or swelling in his arms, giving him muscles. And and also how did a face just grow onto his eyeball? Because the material for his face was inside his body, and it stretched out onto his eye. And no human being, nothing could do that unless they're an amorphous substance, a stretchable rubber, like flubber. And so that's how Majora's incarnation and stuff like that would be. And I drew a picture on paint of how Majora himself would actually look like, because since he stretches, I don't think Majora's incarnation looks exactly how he would look like, because that's how it would look like if he stretched out. Since I believe without him stretching anything, okay, now think of this: Majora's, if you believe that he's an amorphous subject or object, then before he becomes Majora's Wrath, where was his face? You would say his face would be inside his body. Now, could you have thought of that his face was then shrunken down to have been put as a head? Well, if you thought that could be possible, then you could say that when his head was inside his body, and it was stretched out, that stretched out look is his original look, and because it would fit the eye holes on the mask, thus him wearing the mask, and it would make perfect sense in every way. If you don't understand, I drew a picture, as I said, and it looks like how I think Majora's mask would, Majora himself would look like how he would look like with all the things given to you in the game. Now, also, this picture does not represent a person at all, because I don't believe Majora is a person. I don't believe Majora is the creator of Majora's mask. I believe Majora is the owner of the mask, which is who he looks after, who he's modeled after. And Majora is just a deity. He does not resemble a humanoid in any way. So most people would have expected Majora to be like that. So I'm just saying, I'm thinking that Majora is going to be the deity. He's a complete creature, and this is how I think he looks like. It's completely amateur, I know, but I think it puts the thought across of how he would actually look like. And yeah, that's practically all I'm doing for this video. If you liked it, leave a comment, like, and share it with your friends. This has been Sybil Gaming here, and I'm signing out. Goodbye.